Emperor Vexthor stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Eternal Dominion, gazing at the blue marble that hung in the void before him. His chitinous mandibles clicked in what passed for amusement among the Krillian species. For 300 cycles, his armada had swept across a dozen star systems, crushing resistance with barely a thought. Now humanity would join the long list of conquered civilizations. Pathetic, he hissed, his 4 eyes scanning the primitive vessels that humanity had sent to meet his fleet, crude metal constructs held together with what appeared to be chemical propulsion and outdated fusion reactors. His youngest spawn commanded better ships. Commander Jarek, his chief tactical officer, approached with the customary bow. "My Emperor, the humans request parley. They wish to negotiate terms of surrender." Vexthor's laughter echoed across the bridge, a sound like grinding stones. "Surrender? They haven't even witnessed our might. Very well, let them come. I could use the entertainment." Within the hour, a small human shuttle docked with the Eternal Dominion. The delegation consisted of 3 individuals: an elderly woman with silver hair who introduced herself as Secretary General Morrison, a stern-faced military officer named General Chen, and a nervous young scientist clutching a datapad. "Emperor Vexthor," Morrison began, her voice steady despite the circumstances. "We come to ask for mercy. Earth is not a military power. We have no desire for conflict." The Emperor circled them slowly, his massive form towering over the humans. "Your desires are irrelevant. You will submit or you will be eradicated. These are the only options the universe offers." General Chen stepped forward, his jaw tight. "We have weapons, defenses. It would cost you dearly to take our world." This elicited another wave of laughter from Vexthor and his bridge crew. "Weapons? I have observed your arsenal. Nuclear fission devices? Kinetic projectiles? My shields laugh at such primitiveness. We have fought species that could manipulate matter at the quantum level, that could fold space itself into weapons. You are children playing with fire." The young scientist spoke up, her voice trembling. "We developed something new, something different. If you would just look at the data." "Enough!" Vexthor's roar silenced her. "I grow tired of this charade. You have 1 cycle to evacuate your major population centers. After that, the bombardment begins. Be grateful I grant you even this mercy." Morrison's face hardened. "Then you leave us no choice." "General?" Chen tapped his comm device. "All stations, this is Chen. Authorization code Sierra November 77. Release the Prometheus Protocol." Vexthor gestured dismissively. "Launch your missiles. Fire your lasers. My fleet will not even—" The universe screamed. That was the only way to describe it. Every sensor on every ship in the Krillian armada suddenly shrieked in alarm. Vexthor's mandibles snapped shut as he watched something impossible unfold on his tactical display. A single point of light appeared near Earth's moon. Then it expanded. Not an explosion, an unfolding. Space itself seemed to tear open like fabric, revealing something underneath that shouldn't exist. The light wasn't traveling toward his fleet. It was already there, had always been there, would always be there. Time and distance lost meaning. "Evasive maneuvers," Jarek screamed, but it was already too late. The weapon, if it could even be called that, touched the outer edge of the Krillian formation. 17 battlecruisers simply ceased to exist, not destroyed, not vaporized. They were erased as if they had never been there at all. The fabric of reality sealed shut behind them, leaving not even debris. Vexthor stumbled backward, his supreme confidence shattered like glass. "What? What is this?" The young scientist, no longer trembling, stepped forward. "We call it a causality disruptor. Your species focuses on force, on energy, on matter. We went smaller. Quantum mechanics, probability fields, the observer effect. We found that reality at its base is just information, and information can be edited." "You're manipulating fundamental reality," Jarek whispered, his voice filled with horror. "Only locally," Morrison said calmly. "And only once. The power requirements are astronomical. It drains every fusion reactor on Earth, every solar panel, every battery. It takes 6 months to charge for a single shot. But as you can see, we only need to fire once." Another pulse of unreality rippled through space. 40 more Krillian ships blinked out of existence. Vexthor watched his mighty armada evaporate like morning dew. "Stop!" he roared. "I surrender. I yield." General Chen's expression remained stone cold. "You said surrender wasn't an option." You said the universe only offers submission or eradication. I was wrong. Vexthor collapsed to his knees, a position no emperor had taken in 10,000 years. Please, mercy. Morrison regarded him for a long moment. Finally, she raised her hand. Cease fire. All stations stand down. The cosmic tearing stopped. Silence filled the bridge, broken only by the frantic breathing of the Krillian crew. Of the 800 ships that had arrived, fewer than 300 remained. Humanity doesn't seek conquest, Morrison said quietly. We never did. But we learned long ago that the universe is cruel, so we prepared. We looked at problems differently than others might. While your species built bigger guns, we questioned the nature of existence itself. While you perfected destruction, we learned to simply subtract. Vexthor looked up at her, his four eyes wide with newfound terror and respect. What happens now? Now? Morrison's smile was cold. Now you leave. You tell every species in your empire what happened here. You tell them that humanity will be left alone. And if anyone doubts you, if anyone thinks to test us, remind them of this day. Remind them that we are the species that made reality itself into a weapon. She turned to leave, her delegation following. At the airlock, she paused. Oh, an emperor? It doesn't take 6 months to recharge. That was a lie. We can fire whenever we want. We just choose not to. Remember that. The shuttle departed, leaving Vexthor alone with the wreckage of his pride and his fleet. As the human ships withdrew to their homeworld, he realized the terrible truth. They hadn't defeated him with superior force. They had defeated him with something far more dangerous, superior understanding. Humanity had looked at the universe and asked not, how do we destroy, but what can we unmake? And in answering that question, they had become the most terrifying species in the galaxy. The Emperor who had laughed at Earth's weapons would never laugh again.